Hello and welcome to the stream. Yes, your eyes don't deceive you. We are in fact digital now. Hello, yes, welcome. I am Jack. Welcome to the stream today. Yes, I am a VTuber now. So yeah, this might be a little bit odd. So the way I got this to work is, well, I took a photo of my usual space behind me and decided, you know what, this makes it a great background. So then it's just like, yeah, it's me. You know what my background looks like, so why bother changing it, like, at all? As far as I said, there's no point. There's no point in changing it. But yeah, we're digital now, and I finally managed to get the VTubing stuff working to the point of, I think I'm happy with how it is right now. Maybe. A certain amount of fun of being a VTuber is just manipulating the model. It's really fun. Now, there's some things we don't have yet. I am working on hand tracking and all that. Turns out we do have everything we already need to do hand tracking. And in fact, the app that I'm using to track my face already has hand tracking built into it. And every now and then I see the model on my screen, the hands move. The problem is trying to get that to perfectly replicate onto this model on my computer. That's the problem. But yeah. Now the other thing is that you can see me when I'm looking around and when I'm looking at certain things, because I've got it. So, and I'm looking up there, that's one side of the screen, that's the other side of the screen, and that's down there, is down where the chat and stuff is. And when I'm looking straight down here, that's where my phone is. So when I'm looking down, it's like, yeah. Yeah, this ought to be very interesting. Technically kind of a VTuber debut, but not really, because, you know, I'm moving my hands like you can see that, but you can't yet. Not yet. Working on it. And also, in order to make this actually work, I'd have to actually have the microphone a little bit further away than usual. So I am checking my levels, making sure the peaks and troughs and stuff of when I'm normally talking are actually in a good place. And I think I might bump them up just a tiny bit more. There we go. Just so then the microphone and the pop shield doesn't get in the way of the actual tracking. That's one of the big issues that we have. We have to make sure of that. We have to be very careful with that, obviously. But yes, things I want to do very, very, very quickly. Say thank you to the last 2 people who subscribed, who I believe they subscribed last time I was on stream, or maybe I just need to reset the overlay. I'm not sure. We're going to do that now. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so the last 2 people subscribed, at least publicly. Remember, in order for me to actually straight you out, you need to have public subscriptions on, so that your public subscriptions are publicly known. Now, in order to do that, you have to go into settings, and that's how you figure out that whole thing. But nonetheless, thank you to
Atrexis subscribed to the channel.
Thank you, Atrexis, and
I Collect Erasers subscribed to the channel.
And thank you, I Collect Erasers. And remember, if you have what else you want to be shouted out, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. We're getting there. We're nearly at 1,000. 1,000 is the current goal for us right now. We're very nearly there. We are very, very nearly there. We are, I'll see, at 800 now, which I find it very funny that we hit that as I was mentioning it before, which is very, very fun. It's also going to be interesting to see how the model reacts to some of the stuff I do on stream. That's going to be kind of interesting to see. Obviously, it's kind of fixed in place. I can't move too far. It's only really tracking my head at the moment. We don't have full body tracking just yet. The idea is eventually I'll configure it to do complete upper body tracking using both a mixture of capture stuff and from webcams. And then obviously Alex will have this as well. We'll see how it goes, but you know, hey, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, obviously not your standard VTuber debut because I am right here. You can see me. I'm right here. I'm not hiding off the face or anything like that. You know, it'll break the immersion somewhat, but I can, like, you know, zoom out and everything, and you can see me. It's like, yes, there's feet. But yeah, like I said, oh, too far. We're only currently tracking. Hang on, no, it's stepped. Okay, so that's why. There we go. So yeah, can't do too much, but you know, I can shift them around. I'm looking at you side eye, bombastic side eye. Looking at you, chat. But yeah, there's a lot of fun things that we can do with this. The main thing I really liked about these models so far is when I smile, it does this. Look at that smoke face. Oh, come on, tracking. It's so smug. It's great. I love it. But yes, obviously the main thing today is we're going to be doing some Zeepkist. We're going to be doing some Zeepkist. We're going to be doing having a lot of fun with that. Maybe I'm not close enough either. Maybe that'll help with the tracking as well. I was closer when I was doing the tracking calibration and all that, so that might help as well. There we go. But yes, obviously the idea is we're going to do some Zeepkist. It's actually been like 5 months since I last did my last Zeepkist stream, which is a big shame, a mighty big shame, because I do like playing Zeepkist quite a bit. And obviously, as you can see, this is just my normal model. This is the normal base model of just me. It's what I obviously look like, but more anime and all that. But the main idea with this is this: now that I've got this working, and once I get everything working on this model, I can just copy all the settings over to the other one. Because if you want to know what software we're using for this, well, I am currently using Warudo, which is free and on Steam, which is very, very nice. It should hopefully mean that any assets I end up making for it, I can easily share with the community, and you know, stuff like that. So it should be quite nice. It means I can help people out as well. Hopefully. You're slowly learning how this works. Obviously, this is the first stream using it, so we don't have the integrations working yet for people who subscribe or anything. We don't have any of that working just yet, but hey, we're going to work on it. We will eventually get this stuff working really, really nice. And then Alex will have it as well. And I've actually considered, just for the meme of it more than anything else, sort of me and Alex doing a joint traditional VTuber debut. You know, where you completely ignore the fact that you've seen the model, and instead you end up learning stuff about us and all that, even though, you know, we've been streaming for a year already, and, you know, if you've stuck around in that time, you probably know a good amount about us anyway. So, you know. The fact that the mouth does that is a little bit weird, though, from when I'm laughing. Maybe I need to slightly tune down the weight of the audio stuff, because that's one of the issues I had, was the mouth tracking was a bit slow, wasn't really syncing up with the actual mouth and my sound. So I also activated the audio stuff, and it just got to like help bridge the gap, but I think I need to turn that down slightly. So, you know, working on things. We're working on things slowly. But hey, the model can do quite a lot. I can take out my tongue. I can move the mouth. I can pull out my cheeks. Kind of. I need to adjust that still a bit more. Be angry. Well, that's more pout more than angry. Happy. You know, other expressions. The tracking's pretty good. But yes, let's actually get into Zeepkist, shall we? I've said all this stuff. This is going to be a very chill Zeepkist stream. It's the first one with the VTuber model after all. So we're just going to do things nice and chill is the whole idea. Just very simple stream is all we're going to be doing today. And with that, I do actually have a playlist already set up and ready to go. So, let's get started. This is also going to be a public lobby. People can feel free to join. But the idea is that I've got a few things I want to talk about. We can talk about that. I can talk about the VTuber model and all that. And yeah, we can just overall have a good time. It's literally just all this is going to be. It's just a good way for like to do a very simple sort of catch-up thing. These are good for... It's like a just chatting stream, but not. You know. So in that regard, it's nice and easy. So let's get going. Let's hop into Zeepkist, shall we? Let's go. Hitting the wrong button. There we are. We're now in the game, and we're just chilling out. Obviously, this is a public lobby. You'll find it in the thing. Unfortunately, Ronan is also streaming, so he's currently got all the players. But hey, feel free to come join. We'll have a grand time. I've got a few levels stitched out. I've got a good amount of time for each of them. I've missed that jump. Basically, we'll just be playing through them all. Obviously, 8 minutes per level. And I think I've got a total of 16 levels. So that'll be just about 2 hours. So should be good. Let's try and do it without braking to get more speed. And arms up. Too much that time. It's actually been a while since I've played Zeepkist. It's one of those games where people aren't doing videos on it as much anymore, apart from those who are really dedicated to the game. It's a shame because it's a really good game. They've added so many things. I don't think those things will be necessarily shown off in this stream, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Those are things I will just have to talk off another time. Oh, the model's going weird. Yeah, that happens sometimes. That will happen sometimes. So, like I said, we're working out bugs. We're working things out. But yeah, so the idea is that we're using Warudo. I do want to test out a few different other ones. Warudo is just the one I've put the most time into so far. With learning. VC Face is also pretty good. Definitely want to give that one a try as well. See if I can get that working in a very similar way, because I think that one's a little bit more lightweight. Technically with this, we're using Unity to run this. Technically, is how Warudo works. It uses Unity. So, I don't know, just in case you want something a little bit lighter, I want to see what the performance impact is of just like the different programs. Just to see what works, really. Also, we can't go down the custom route or anything like that, but you know, we can see how things work with what we've got. Is the general idea anyway. We'll just see. And of course, one of the main things I'm really learning is that you have to. The best way to get it to look the best is you've got to move quite a bit when you're making your head movements and all that. That way, it'll actually look a little bit more realistic, and you know. I see. I decided to break there. That's the issue. That is the issue. Oh, come on! I put this in as literally a nice, easy, chill start of the stream. I'm having issues doing the first jump. That's not good. There we are. A little bit faster as well. Arms up. Lands nice. If I go high, if I can retain a little bit more speed. Probably not really. What song is this? I mean, I should know. I made this playlist, but you know, it doesn't always work out. Why is it doing that every now and then? It's just glitching out with the thing. I haven't stress tested this. This is the first long stress test of this setup, so we'll see how it goes. The thing is, I wanted to like sort of calibrate, see what sort of results we could get by using Live, which is free software in the iPhone. Just to see what it's like, just to see if, like, okay, can we actually, is this feasible, you know, before we put money into it, is this a thing we want to do? Because, you know, there's no point me trying to convince Alex, like, hey, yeah, buy this app. It's, you know, you may never actually use, so, you know, I've got to make sure we can get good results with it for free. And that's like, okay, if the paid stuff is better, then we'll do that. So I already know the tracking on 3D mocap is a little bit better, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what the results are. See what the results are first. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And in this case, you know, subscribe, because, you know, you're kind of coming along for the journey to see how this ends up going. And hey, if you're a budding VTuber in any regard, and, you know, I end up coming up with a tip, who knows? I may have some tips for you about how to make things work a little bit better. In fact, one tip I can give is definitely calibrate your face in whatever tracking software you're using, whatever you're using to track. Make sure you go to the calibration tab and actually calibrate your face to it properly, because obviously it uses a blank template and it has set ranges that, oh nice, a good time, that will always come through from the software. What you want to do is make sure that, you know, that's all set up nicely and works properly for you. Because it's stuff like when I first loaded in the model, and I actually showed out, I sent Alex a picture of it because it was very funny. It ended up being that I tried to do like an angry face to do a calibration for that, and instead it calibrated it in such a way that it put the eyebrows down near my mustache. So it's like, yes, not quite the look I was going for. Although I did try to make sure that I preserved the smug face. The smug face was the first thing I noticed when I smiled. I think what it's doing is it's realizing that, hey, my cheeks have gone up, so the eyes are smaller now. So it makes it think that I'm like closing my eyes, which when I'm not. But, you know. So yeah, just small little tips like that. It's like, yeah, calibrate your face and make sure the ranges work. Because that's the other issue. In order to actually get the faces to look the way they are. Actually, I could maybe even use that to change the shade, because Wardo does also let you change the shader on the model, so that would be quite good to do that. I'd like to do that at some point, actually. Not the biggest fan of the default Vroid shader, so being able to alter that would be very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. I'm going to get a good time though. Yeah, calibrate. Definitely calibrate. And the good thing is that being able to do this, we'll be able to do it all for free as well. This has all been for free. That we've managed to get all this stuff working. Also, it takes time. You've got to do it all yourself. But yeah. There's also a few other things I want to do. There's an emote pack that I've seen. Again, available for free. That someone just made available for free. And you can make use of some different ways to get them onto your model. And yeah, I just want to do that. I want to get that on the model. There we are, level done. Again, that's just a nice, easy level. Technically, the win there doesn't count, obviously, because, you know, it's just me. Yeah. Here's an interesting test. I'm going to have a drink. There we go. No idea what the model looked like. That's going to be fun to look back at. Oh, this one. I put this one in because it was music related. I get a feeling this might be a pretty hard level. Yeah, this might be a hard level. I put this one in because, like, hey, music. I subscribe to this. Let's go with the music. Oh, right on the edge of the note. That's not fun. God, as per usual, I'm using a controller in this because, of course, I'm going to use a controller. Oh, save it. Yeah. No, I don't have anywhere near enough speed. Oh well, I saved it, but not for long. Oh well. We go. But yeah, there's a lot of different YouTubers I've looked into for kind of get an idea of their tracking situation. A lot of VTuber stuff is like homebrew. So the fact that now that we have some sort of stuff that, you know, we can actually all use together. Oh, close. Come on, I put this in. I can't not get a finish. That's no good. Oh, excuse me. It's going to be interesting to see how I look, because I have limited screens and I can't, like, sacrifice one of the screens to, you know, show me the VTuber model at all times. That's not an option I have. So, I'm watching this back is generally going to be pretty interesting. It's also good to know how well this thing tracks, even though I have a massive beard and, you know, mustache and all that. So it's good to know that, you know, the tracking is on point still. Because at the very least, I can see a little VTuber model down here that I can use as a little bit of a reference to see how things are going. But yeah, oh, come on. In 3 minutes, I haven't had a single finish yet. I keep dying at the same point. But yeah, VTuber Tech is really interesting. There's actually a subreddit that I would definitely recommend if you're interested in doing this sort of stuff. Definitely recommend the r/VTuber subreddit on Reddit. Very handy. Lots of people talking on there about different things. I haven't actively participated in there, but yeah, lots of useful people there. Lots of helpful guides too. Nope, way too high, way too high. Yeah, died. Yeah, should have seen that one coming. But of course, that's not all I've been doing. Also working on the channel. That's my secondary channel is doing quite well, actually. If you want to know, my secondary channel is effectively there to be used as a testing ground for AnR gaming. Because at a certain point, we've now got expectations of how this channel is meant to operate, and that means that, you know, people are starting to have expectations of us. So throwing things at the wall isn't nice. I mean, I know we're still a very small channel. I get that. But at the same time, we kind of want this channel to always be like putting the best stuff out there. So having a testing ground is very, very handy. And that's what my channel is now. It's a testing ground. I'm still doing my own thing there, but it's a testing ground where I can try out things. That's how I started messing around with the Vroid models to see, it's like, hey, actually, can I use these to make thumbnails? Turns out I can. Hey, I got a finish. Nice. I got a finish. But yeah, so if you ever want to have a look, I'm not necessarily saying, hey, go subscribe to my stuff. We're not abandoning this. AnR gaming is still very much like my main thing, but that's also a place where it's like, hey, I've got a little bit. I don't have like rules and stuff there. You know, AnR gaming has rules. My channel does not. It's very much a case of like, I'll do what I please. Thank you very much. But no, I wanted to debut the VTuber models on here, which is why it was here, and this is why this is the first test stream, as it were. Do I say, am I properly being tracked still? I am. Good. I have to check every now and then. Sometimes it just decides, no, we don't want to track anymore, which is very, very fun. Again, things we're learning as we go. But no, it's quite nice that, funny enough, after I started looking into like all the tracking stuff myself, I've started getting recommended a lot of smaller VTubers, and there are some out there who are so fun and entertaining. In fact, one of them I like so much. Little spoilers for the next meme stream. A lot of her shorts and stuff make for really, really good, funny memes. So I want to show her off a bit. Because it's like, yeah, she deserves a lot more people following her because she's got a very good sense of comedy. So yeah, she's in there in the next meme stream, and the one after that. I'm always whenever one meme stream ends, the next one is already like good to go. It's already finished. The only time I'll have to end up adding more potentially is if Alex takes too long and like holds off on it for too long, because right now that he's sort of going this whole thing of like, oh, but you know, I accidentally started doing them every 3 months, so I'm going to do them every 3 months. And I've been trying to say to him, it's like, No, do it when people want it. Don't put arbitrary limits on this thing. So yes, if you want to see the meme stream sooner from him, hound him for it. Because yeah, memes die very quickly, and what's funny now might not be funny in a week. So yeah, you know, if you want to see them now, hound him for it. You know, I'm adding memes now, and technically that meme stream won't be out till summer, so who knows what memes will actually stay. I mean, there's one in there that I found. There's a series of memes that I found that are just so good, so good. I just realized that the tracking on that's not going to work quite well because I made a sound while I did it. So this is why maybe need to relook into like the mouth tracking situation. The issue is that I don't have a proper stand for my iPhone, because obviously that's what I'm using for the tracking. I don't have a proper stand for it, so it means that the tracking isn't great, so I'm using the audio stuff to help it out as well, especially with the mouth. Like I said, the mouth was a little bit slow, so once I can actually get it properly mounted, then, you know, tracking will be better. Round it. There we go. Glad that no one joined yet, which is a shame. But hey, it happens. It happens. It happens. Oh well. Oh. There you go. I haven't done that. I just need to look over and see, like, it's properly tracking. If I move my eyebrow, I will see it in a second. I'm shake them like this. I'm surprised I made that while doing that. Yeah, they're tracking fine. Is it tracking? Move the eyebrows. But that's how I check the tracking. Is it tracking? Move the eyebrows. Move everything. You know, just in a weird way. That's probably because the tracking right now is very limited. Just do like this first test run and that. It's very much a case of like I'm paranoid. Like I've got more things to check on now, which is actually pretty good. I think it's because I think that's going to give me like more things to be able to talk about and stuff and be talking about. I mean, I will say not every stream is going to be a VTuber stream. You know, the idea of like switching fully to VTubers. Oh, I needed a good flip. That isn't a thing me and Alex have talked about yet. This is just a fun extra thing we can do. And especially for certain things, it makes sense to do it. For example, next whole live update, I'll definitely do that as a VTuber. You know, because that makes thematic sense. Anime games, if we end up ever doing anime games, those as VTubers, that makes sense. Other stuff, maybe not so much. I mean, I don't know. There are some series that we are planning on doing, like shooters and that, and it's like, okay, should I be a VTuber for that? Because, you know, at no point is it like a thing where we definitely have to be a VTuber. But, you know, we could be. But should we? Then it becomes a thing of like, you know, we can have our cake and eat it. It's, you know, a lovely thing. Actually, funny enough, the thing that we kind of are doing is kind of similar to Kason, actually, with the fact that she also does IRL streams and streams showing her actual face and then streams with a model. So I don't know, maybe that'd actually be a good idea to try and see like how does she decide between the two, you know, actually go in depth and not just, you know, consumer streams. That could be a fun thing to do. And there's already some other things I've been meant to be looking into to, you know, try and make the channel better. I'm always trying to find ways to make the channel better. Hence why I brought back my channel. My gaming channel, by the way. Music channel I am working on stuff for that. I am making a backlog of completed songs that I can then record the videos of and then upload those quite nice and easily, because making the music videos for that takes maybe like a day. I just went off the track. But yeah, I am working on more songs for that. I'm working on more songs. I have actually recorded a video for that, which is a review for a plugin, which I know I've been saying about music stuff, but I am also an audio engineer. So that is a very important part of it as well. But yeah, there's a plugin that came out, so everyone was like, oh, this is like great. It makes your digital guitars sound real. And spoilers, I've moved to using digital stuff because convenience. And also, you know, the UK is still dealing with cost of living crisis and all that, and especially also the fact of energy prices being very, very high. So when I'm making these songs, it's, you know, for me at the very least, it makes more sense in the case of like, well, I'm already using however much power because my computer's on, and my amp will natively also use a certain amount of power. So I might as well just use the digital version of my amp because my computer will use less power than the real thing. At least for the covers. When I'm doing original stuff, that's still going to be the real amp. That's definitely still going to be the real stuff. But, you know, when I'm tracking, that's a different thing. But yeah, so that's always fun. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention from my last stream as well. I was saying that I was watching Monarch, Legacy of Monsters on Apple TV. I've now finished it. I've now watched it. I would definitely recommend people watch it. It's a very good series. It's a very good series. Not anime as well. Not anime. But it's a very good series. Very good series. I very much enjoyed it. Funny enough, it actually made me want to go back and rewatch all the other Godzilla movies and stuff. Because I know that they're trying to make sort of like this Godzilla, King Kong universe. Like multi-film universe. Not to the same extent of like DC and Marvel or anything like that, but, you know, for it to still be interconnected and all that, you know, that all stuff. So yeah, I wouldn't mind actually properly looking into that a bit more and rewatching them, because I was always like, hey, it's all right, and they're doing this whole thing, but now I've actually watched a series that goes a bit more in depth, and, you know, seeing how much they've actually properly fleshed it out now, it's like, ooh, now I'm interested again. So yeah, the series really massively helps. So yeah, probably end up doing that at some point. I need to find out where I can watch them from. Ideally legally. I'll be able to. I've got Disney. We've got Disney Plus. We've got Apple TV. They'll be somewhere I can get them. I don't technically have access to Netflix. You know, we have it in the house. I just never actually watch anything on it. Funny enough. Oh no, the last things I watched on it was actually Cyberpunk, but you know. I don't watch it that often, but you know, still. Oh, there we are. Drifting. That's the thing I've never quite understood, why people were always like, oh, I don't like the grass and all that. Fun to drift around corners, it's fun. Have fun. No. But no, funny thing I've been doing, funny enough for mentioning having fun, we mentioned a while ago how we've effectively stopped playing Destiny. Well, that's true-ish. I have actually been recently playing it again. I've been enjoying it. It's actually been about 12 weeks. 12 weeks I stopped playing it for entirely. Which is technically an entire season. But hey, they're, you know, still doing seasonal stuff and all that. So all this season's like extended way longer. But, you know, I have actually been playing it recently. But the main thing I've been playing recently has actually been Halo Infinite. It's no thing that I'm a massive Halo fan. That's the thing that really kicked off me really getting into games. Was Halo. So it's a very, very fun. I love the Halo series. And for a while with Halo Infinite, it was like, there's a lot of stuff missing from it that, you know, the game should have done, but backwards. It's no good. But they've added a lot of stuff now. Is it still a perfect game? No, nowhere near. But is it now worth maybe, like, if you've been holding off for a while, should you reconsider it? I would say yes. Definitely consider it. Definitely consider looking into it. I've gone off the side. Yeah. I definitely recommend like giving it a check. Checking it out. I definitely recommend checking it out. And that's another level done. So far, no one's joined, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh, this one's a very fun level. I'm not very good at it, but it's a very fun and very aesthetically. See, I've already crashed. Very aesthetically pleasing level. It looks very, very nice. I think I think they came out with a sequel, or someone else has made something that looks very, very similar, that was heavily inspired by it, or maybe they just completely stole it. I don't know. I don't always know things, surprisingly enough. I don't always know things. And jump that, because it's fun. Oh, I nearly crash out. Oh, do I have the speed for the wall ride? Of course I do. But do I have the speed for this wall ride? Oh, just. Yeah, no boosters on this track. You want to maintain speed? You got to maintain it. Not gonna be a great time, but hey, I got it done. There we go. And now we can try and be better. Yeah, it's a very, very nice track. Very nice track. But yeah, going back to the whole thing with Halo, because I was talking about that. Yeah, I would definitely say now is a good time for people to potentially look into it, especially if you were trying it before, because the forged stuff, which is the user-made stuff in the game, is definitely now on par and has exceeded the stuff you'd find in the Master Chief Collection, which obviously has all the stuff from the previous games, like all the forged custom content and all that. It has exceeded it by a lot. You know, you have people making completely custom campaigns, and people are remaking campaign levels, obviously in the new engine, and so you've got all the new abilities and all that. And yeah, it's really, really, I definitely recommend people giving it another try. That being said, I do have one thing to say, and that's that the microtransaction shop is probably the worst it's ever actually been. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. So there is that issue. That is definitely an issue. There's no getting around it. The problem is they've kind of seen what Bungie was doing and have decided, hey, let's do that. Which is... The problem is, right now, no one's liking Bungie. Everyone's really wary of them. And now 343 has been like, oh, same. It's like, no. A terrible idea. Why? Why would you do this? But I don't know. They are... The shop is so for profit that it's awful. I know it's obviously for profit, but I don't know. Since when was a suit of armor in a video game, a digital suit of armor, just to make you change how you look, doesn't even change how you play, just change how you look, worth about the same as some games, like full featured games? It's stuff like you can buy these 3 new armor sets for half the price of Baldur's Gate. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't own Baldur's Gate, but I know it's a really good game. And it's just like, that's just awful pricing. Because here's the thing, if you want to sell more, price it a bit cheaper. It's the same thing with Destiny. Stuff like they recently had a collaboration with The Witcher to get Witcher armors from Witcher 3 into the game for the various different classes, and I was like, oh, that is really, really cool. I wouldn't mind picking that up, actually, if it's like a good price. And of course, it's Bungie, so it's not at a good price. It's a stupid price. It's at like 1,000 silver, and I don't fully remember what the conversion rate for that is. But it's like, really? It's like, it's an ornament. It's not this massive thing. And then you see the armor in, how was it? It's the armor in Halo Infinite, and it's 1,800 credits, which is roughly equivalent to, the problem is you can the closest you can buy to that is 2,000 credits, and 2,000 credits is like £18. I know UK money and all that, but you know, regardless, it's like there are game you could buy, like you could. I mean, I don't actually know what price Skyrim is right now, but it's like, yeah, you could buy like entire games for that price. It's like, really? Really? You're charging that much for a skin? I mean, really? There are better ways to make money. And it's the same, it's stuff where it's like, okay, if you had each one was maybe say 500 credits, and you can get a full set of armor, and it'll come with like paint and stuff you can use for everything, across all your different armor cores and all that, or you know, something like that. And let's say instead it was say 500 credits or 500 silver or something like that, you know, whatever, like let's say it's like £5. You'd sell way more, because now somebody was like, oh, it's only £5, and you sell loads of them. If no one's buying, it's because the price is too high. Lower the price and you'll get way more people buying it. You want microtransactions to work? Actually make them micro. You know? Not the price of a full game. Jeez, come on. This is trying to be a fun stream and you're making me do this, and I've missed. I've gone off the side. Come on. There are way better ways of doing this. But they're not. They're too... The idea of cutting down the price to sell more is probably like a foreign, weird idea for them. And I've done it. And you take that shallower. Come on, Jack. Take it shallower. Not that you can get another time anyway, but, you know, take it shallower. Now, see, if I didn't have that bounce, that would have been a very smooth landing. Now, if that landing had been smooth, it had been very smooth. Fun times. Just realized I don't think I changed the tags on this stream. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think I changed the tags on this stream from Alex's stream. So I might have to very quickly do that. That's fine. Where's right. Can I do this very quickly? Yes, I haven't changed it. There we go. You know what? Yeah, we'll do with that. We'll go with that. I know I'm dying and all that, but hey, now I'm back. Now we're good. Now we're good. There we are. Just added a few new tags, just then the video can be properly seen. Yeah, this is a very fun track. I can't remember who I ended up joining on when I found this. They were just running it, and it's like, it's a long track, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. Providing I don't do that and hit a car. Providing I don't hit a car as well. The only bad thing about it is that when they do the two lines in the middle, sometimes there'll be a little gap the wheel gets stuck in, and that's not fun. But no, also talking about Halo stuff as well. Also, the second season of the show is coming out. And you know what? Considering the stuff that's recently been said in the interviews, with people saying about how like they finally acknowledged the issues from the first season. There's a small glimmer of hope there. It's not much. There's a little bit. There's a very, very tiny little bit of hope there. That's hoping that it won't be a complete train wreck. especially with considering that, because let's face it, if they don't appeal to the fans with this season when they're dealing with Reach and the fall of Reach and what that means for like fans of the series, it's like, yeah, if they don't crash, if they don't get it, they're pretty much guaranteed effectively saying, yeah, this isn't for fans. You're never really going to get fans watching it, because Reach is beloved. Like the story of the fall of Reach, and also Halo Reach itself, like the game and stuff like that, is a beloved story. It's a beloved story. So it's one of those things like, you tread lightly now. And they've got to get it right. They've got to get it right. And the thing is, I don't understand how they managed to mess up Halo so much. I mean, keep in mind, I haven't seen the series, but I have heard people tell me what the series does. So I look, they told me, so I don't have to watch it, basically. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, now every TV show or every series that gets, or any game that gets a TV series, I'm now really cautious for, because so many people are just, same with The Witcher. It's like, it's got a good story. Yes, I understand some things are going to have to change in the adaptation, but for you to just completely go off the rail, completely separate from the book, and it's like, then why are you even bothering adapting at this point, you know? You're just using the characters for your own fanfic that you're getting paid ridiculous amounts for. And in the meantime, appealing to no one. And I don't know. It's just, why do this? Why change things so much? The whole thing about, you know, the Master Chief and all that was this whole thing of like, yeah, he's human, but he's more machine due to the programming and the indoctrination and stuff like that from the Spartan program. And it's like, just keep that a poor personality trait. You can explore his humanity later on if you get to that point. Instead, just make the fights, you know, finishing the fight and all that, be a compelling part of the reason why you watch it in the first place. You know? It's not hard. Halo doesn't have this complicated story. You don't have to make it complicated. You don't have to add a love triangle to everything. Not every series needs a love triangle. It feels like this whole thing of like producers and whatever stuck in, I don't know, 70s, 80s, something like that, where there's like, oh no, we've got to have a love interest. We've got to have love interest and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, you don't. Just make a compelling story. The whole thing about Halo was, it's the whole thing of like, everything old is new again. Where it's like, yeah, it's just nothing but like quips and stupid quotes that are so, that they're so cheesy that they go all the way back around to being like endearing and funny. Because they're so tired and cliched. And it's like, yeah, maybe the fact that, you know, you're not going to have, I mean, I can understand as a writer, there being the fact that you're adapting something, it's like, can be pretty boring. But let's face it, there are also a lot of places where you could add new stuff. Even if you're just going to go based on the games. Let's say you decide to make a series, you decide to not really cover Reach and all that, you can maybe save that for, I don't know, a feature film or whatever, if the series does well. You could have Season 1 be Halo 1. And you keep it a small cast, keep it very nice and small, and yeah, you could... Oh, I've been sent a message. Needham, if you're watching later. I've been sent a message, but yes. No, the whole thing with it being is that, yes, straight up, there are ways you could have done this, but you just didn't. I mean, here's the thing. Halo 1, there are certain levels that you could easily, very, very easily, like, shrink down. There are certain levels that's like, yeah, they're that long for the sake of gameplay and interesting gameplay. A lot of it you could cut. If you adapt it to a show from the game, there's a lot you could definitely cut. For example, the library could be like entire level. The library, as to my memory, I know there's a little bit of lore that's stated there from Guilty Spark, but again, that could be like a singular conversation. It's like, oh yeah, this is the whole thing built by the Forerunners. You know, this is a thing to deal with the flood and all that. Because that was the main takeaways, because that's what comes up in directly the next scene, you know, after you get the activation key. And it's like, yeah, that could be like 1-2 scenes, a conversation where it's like, oh, I've got to teleport you there. Unfortunately, we can't get it. It has to be you. There's a little bit of fighting with the flood, and then it's there. You get it. Hey, I got a time. That's a long map. That's a longer map than I remember. But yeah, it's like, yeah, that could have been like a very short thing. It's like, you can have it like, what, 10 episodes? 10 episode season, which again is short. People seem to forget that, yeah, it wasn't that long ago that a season was like 24 episodes. I mean, they were, and this was anime. But nonetheless, yeah, season was 24 episodes, not this half season, 12 episode stuff that we get now. You know, seasons used to be longer. So, you know, technically it's less work in that, if you look at it that way, which means that you should be able to put more stuff into it. But even then, you could have it be sort of like a level per thing. You have it start with like the whole thing of like, hey, the Alton's being attacked and all that. And then you land on the ring. You can have it so the first episode ends with them landing on the ring and that first reaction's laying on the ring. It's like, that'd be a great cliffhanger for like the first episode. Second episode will be like rallying troops and all that and getting people together. As you know, starting to take down the Covenant and like regrouping everyone. Maybe that could even be 2 episodes. I've missed it entirely. It's like, there's easy ways you could do this. You've made this way harder on yourself because you've made it more complicated. You could have it almost start off like this survival thing. They've been attacked. They have all this history and stuff. We talk about it, but it's the whole main thing of it is meant to be like them trying to survive. But they've got the Master Chief, which is this massive super soldier. You know, and sure, the whole thing could be focusing on the Chief, but you can also have it being that, you know, a good part of it is also like this like relationship between Chief and Cortana, and rather than it being like a single main like protagonist, it's like, no, it's the both of them are the protagonist. And heck, you can even have it so if you don't want to do loads of fighting with the flood, you could save a bit of money by just cutting to Cortana and have her like be uncovering stuff about the ring separate from the Master Chief. So then while she's figuring stuff out, you know, Master Chief is off like talking to Spark, and from the cutaways from that you can directly tell immediately right there that something seems off, and Cortana's discovering these like twisted, horrible things about the whole thing. You know, there's opportunities there for some really, really compelling like storytelling through the use of the entire medium separated from video games. And they just decided, nah. There's ways they could have taken it, and they just decided, no, we're not doing that. Instead, we want the Chief, this who's typically not mindless, like very robotic person, because later on a big character thing is, you know, is he more machine or human? Is he fundamentally broken and all this other stuff? Does he actually have humanity, despite the fact that he like serves it and does everything he can to? It's effectively like the whole thing of like being so. In his mind, he's doing everything he can to serve humanity, forgetting that he is also human. It's like that's the big thing about the Chief's character later on. And like at the start of it, it's like, yeah, he's this massive badass super soldier and all that. And it's like, come on, you've got some really good moments of like just stuff going really well. And, you know, you can have it be that, you know, things get more and more dire. It ends with them having to like trying to get off the ring the way that Halo 1 ends. And heck, you don't even have to like, it's at least thought that they was probably on the ring for several days, for quite a while. You know, you still have room in there to create some new character moments, but, you know, base it off some other stuff, like what some other stuff people did, you know. You know, if you really want to look thinking up Johnson as well with that, because I mean, they better do Johnson well if they eventually get to that, if they eventually ever get to that, you know. It's like, yeah, how'd you survive the Halo exploding? Classified, can't tell you. immediately you've cemented him in people's minds. It's like, on the one hand, yeah, you can see it as lazy writing, but on the other hand, it's like, wait, how did he get off this exploding artifact and was fine? You know. I don't know, there's so many good ways they could have gone about this, but they didn't. They just didn't, and that's a shame. It's a real shame. I think all that because I was saying that I wasn't playing Destiny anymore. But no, there's definitely many things that they could have done with it way better, but they didn't. And it's just a shame. It really is just a massive, massive shame. Yeah. It's like I'm not even like a film person. I can think of so many really good moments that would adapt so well to, like, being on TV or screen or anything. There's loads of really interesting stuff. Because it's a good story. It's a good, really fun. Well, I say fun. It's also a pretty dark story at times. But it's like, you don't have to make it complicated. This whole stuff of, you know, you don't even have to go into details of like why the Covenant hates humanity in the series. You don't have to go into those details. Those details weren't known until afterwards. They weren't known until later. You know. You know, you can have stuff like that be a revelation that comes later down the line. But at the same time, you try and build the show in such a way that if you never get a chance to reveal that, it's still a good show. And instead, so far, from what I can tell, it feels like the entire first season of the Halo Paramount TV show you can just entirely skip, because reach is very important. And as far as I can tell, there's nothing really set up in there that's really needed. Again, that's assuming it's actually trying to tell the proper story, which, let's face it, at this point they can't. They just straight up can't. Which is a shame, because it is a good story. It's a good story with a lot of work put into it. And the TV show has just decided to ignore all of it. Which also makes me... I don't know if the Fallout TV show's out yet, but it does make me wonder for that as well. It does make me wonder for that, because I don't know if Alex would watch it or not, but I know Alex is a massive fan of Fallout, so it's very much a case of like... Yeah, sorry, they might butcher your favorite series, Alex. And that's why we don't try and game one-handed. Not that you can see, but I just tried to take a drink. No, I need to stop landing like that. I need to land on the outside. Or the middle. Outside or middle. Too far. The thing, I might not be very good at this game, but I can still... And that's like, I'm not the very best, but you know, I can still see where I can improve. You know, I can see it, I just can't do it. Oh, I might just be able to get one more finish in very quickly. If I can make it. Oh, and if I make it, it might even be the best time. We'll see. Will we? Yeah, you did it. It's a shame that technically none of these actually count. But no, I do, just to go back on it, I do have more VTuber stuff planned. Ish. VTuber stand planned ish. It's very ish. Stuff like along the lines of VR chat stuff. I do have more stuff planned for that. Of course, the models are already pre-made into that. I do have actually several VR chat streams planned. I have a list of stream plans for me that should be very fun. Very fun. So definitely be sure to check out that sort of stuff. I'm not going to give hints of what the next one's going to be, but just know it's especially if you haven't played VR chat before. It's going to be a very interesting look back across everything. Right, you know what? I just spoiled it. It's a look back at levels, okay? At the different people, a lot of the VR chat's history, okay? I've already spoiled it now, but yeah. So that's coming up, which is going to be very fun. Oh, that's going to be a very fun stream. If I don't think I'm looking forward to it, because a lot of the places we'll be visiting are old memories for me as well. Because I first started playing VR chat in 2018. Early 2018. Right before I got a VR headset as well. And that's actually another thing we can technically, if I manage to look it up right, we can actually also make use of VR tech to be able to control the VTuber models as well. Essentially in a similar way to what Filian and Zen do. Ish. I think Zen, she definitely has her own proprietary method of tracking. I don't fully understand exactly how it works yet. I'd assume it's locally on the lines of like Valve trackers and stuff like that, or Vive trackers, all that stuff. I mean, how accurate her tracking is, yeah, it's definitely got to be stuff like that. Although I will say also her face tracking is also really good. So I also wonder if she has like a custom not bracing, like sort of thing that she wears to capture her face better. Or if she just uses VR headsets and stuff for that. You can do full pass-through and everything like that, so you see yourself in the world that you're in. So crashed again. You can also do the same with what we're doing with Warado. You can also have it so that there's backgrounds and stuff. Right now I have it transparent, but you can also do it so that you have actual worlds and everything as well, which is very nice. Very nice. Though I do also wonder, with the whole tracking thing I've mentioned before, how I'm using the audio to also help with that. I do wonder if it's because my mustache is slightly too long, actually. And it's just like, is the mouth open? Technically, there's hair over the mouth, so we can't tell. So that's probably a big part of it as well. That, and also you need a lot of lighting. Technically, I'm testing this without the lighting there being all that much, just because it's an infrared depth sensor. But regardless, lighting won't hurt, so that might help as well. So yeah, trimming mustache, more lights, that might help too. Again, that's the whole thing with a lot of this VTuber stuff. There are guides out there to try and help you, but a lot of the times it's just based on like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be able to actually accomplish? So you have to be able to, figure that stuff out. Again, that's why a lot of this stuff it's very much homebrew. You've got to figure it out yourself. Which is why in some ways Alex is very lucky to have me. I was even mentioning to him how technically the art of making a VTuber model, if I was to offer my services for that, is actually worth quite a bit of money. Just so you're aware, Alex. I could be getting paid for the stuff I'm doing for the channel for free. Then again, it is also my channel as well. So, it's not like I don't have an interest in the channel. I have considered it, though. I have considered, making assets and stuff for people. If people wanted them. I've also actually spoken to Alex about the idea of having digital versions of our merch, not in like an NFT sort of format, but as in like, hey, do you want this for your model? Here you go, here's the stuff for it. And while you're at it, included will also be an assets all the assets you need to have it printed so you can have it as an actual t-shirt as well. You know, just like you can have it as a package deal sort of thing. Like you buy the actual t-shirt. Oh good, well here's all the stuff you'd want if you want to do it, have it as a digital avatar as well for Vroid and all the other stuff like that. And at the same time, if you want to like make all the stuff yourself, here's all the assets for it anyway. You know, I feel like that would be a pretty novel idea, because I also know that Fruit was on about making her own like merch line for like effectively being a VTuber fashion designer. It's like that's a thing you can do now, and you can make some good money from it as well. But no, eventually I do like the idea of actually paying someone to actually make the models for us, like better models for us. The next thing for me to learn would actually be some 2D models, because drawing I can do much easier than I can 3D modeling. Hence why I used Vroid. But even then, like I made the shirts and stuff myself. But yeah. Oh, that's gonna finish. Yes, nice. Got a finish. I'm happy now. I could maybe even get one more in. I am actually quite happy with how well this is working so far. I also have stuff set up so I can actually monitor my computer to make sure it's like, okay, are things overloading? How are things looking? You know, all that stuff. Just like, yeah, I'm trying to check on everything as I go. Another issue I've realized is that I do need to adjust a few things, because just because of how it is set up. Eventually, I know how I want to have things set up eventually. But it's just getting to that point. It's going to be the interesting part, because right now I have it calibrated so that when I'm looking straight on, the model is also looking straight on. But in reality, it should be at a slight angle, because obviously where I am on the screen, I'm not in the middle of the screen, I'm off to the side. So if I look to the right of my screen, I'm looking completely off the screen. So again, small things that I know I can adjust. One of the things I would quite like to do would be that I have the game on one screen and I have the chat on the other, and then I have it set up. Then I can have it properly set up so that when I'm looking at the chat, that's when I would be looking forward. When I'm looking at the game, that's when I'm looking to the side. That whole sort of thing. I feel like that would be like a good thing I could calibrate towards. Not falling off. There we go. You know, stuff like that. Again, loads of ideas and stuff like that. And again, we'd have to adjust Alex's setup and everything for that as well. Oh, so you may have noticed at the top. Yes, this is my track. This is a track I made. Oh, I've got hiccups now. Great. So yeah, this is my track Mankind Fall, which is also named after my album. And this entire thing is actually based off my album artwork, which is fun. I figured this would be a quite nice thing to do. This is a bit I've kind of wanted to do for a while. So of course the idea is you can go up here, jump down, and then this is the way you're supposed to go. I will show you the other endings as well, because funny enough, there are multiple endings. And there's Cthulhu, and I made him, and I made it so he constantly stares at you, which is fun. It's obviously based off my album, so that's always fun. But now I can show you the other endings. So the idea I had was that you never actually get to see Cthulhu till right at the end. That was always the idea I had in mind. Is I laid out the track, made it fun, built Cthulhu, and then was like, okay, so now I want to block him out from everywhere you look until you get right to the end. And again, I wanted to make it also a fairly easy track. I have actually already shown this to a few people in the Zeepkist community. They gave me some good suggestions, stuff like there's nothing here that tells you have to flip up, and potentially you realize you have to flip up too late. So it's like, yeah, that is a fair point. And actually, I don't know. I don't know if anyone can let me know. If anyone in the Zeepkist community ends up watching this, can you actually just update maps? So as you can see, you can go this way. This is the full track where you can go. It's longer, but you can go this way. And it's deliberately set up so that yes, you will make it. The idea being that this is technically the ideal route you would take. But, you know, madness led you to the other way. Or for some reason. Something like that. But yeah, we go up here. And even then, if you go this way, you never see Cthulhu. But there's just enough speed that you can make it all the way back up. And technically, you're right back at the start. You make it all the way right back up to the start. And there you are, you made the full thing and you never see Cthulhu. Here's the whole idea with that. And again, I have very deliberately angled, like moved the whole thing so you never see Cthulhu. And actually, at one point, I had this fun idea of like, I'll slightly angle everything, but then certain jumps wouldn't work too right, and things would have to go way too fast. You'd lose control. So certain stuff wasn't working. So like the wall right here would just throw you off, but due to the angle it was at, like at that start point, and this part was impossible. Because it was at such a really steep angle, just due to how it was positioned. It's like, yeah, certain things just weren't working, so I ended up scrapping the idea and had everything flat instead, just so that everything works properly. The idea was it's going to be at such a small angle that, you know, everything would feel off, and that would like really bring across that whole feeling. I've forgotten the name of the guy who actually reviewed this track for me. And he was like, yeah, that was the whole issue. Because he reviews tracks when they first come out in the Zeepkist Discord. So the other way you can go is down into the hole. And the thing is, after a while, it'll stop you, and it's guaranteed to be a slow descent. But if I remember rightly, if I can change how you see, there's an eyeball there at the bottom of the hole that's, again, for the entire track it's been watching you. But yeah, the idea is that, yeah, if the only fast way you can go is going the proper way that leads you to Cthulhu, that's how you get the fastest times. You have to accept madness, you know. But you can also go this way. This will give you an end, but you know, it's not going to be fast. The fastest way is Cthulhu. Also the fastest way to madness, technically speaking. But no, there are some other things I've been doing recently. I've actually, I've mentioned several times before also that I am celiac and all that, hence why my Minecraft series that I do live has me doing the entire, trying to see how far I can get in the game and all that, and trying to do things in the game without having any wheat, because I can't eat wheat. Not literally, but if I do eat wheat, I'm gonna have issues, lots of issues, and yeah. But ooh, relatively good landing. You'll see that after a point there's no checkpoints, so obviously then there can't be much finishes. Ooh, not faster though. No, I've been doing a lot of cooking and stuff. One of the things I've been messing around quite a bit lately has actually been miso. For those not aware, miso is this sort of, I don't actually know exactly what miso is exactly, but I do know that you can buy it in a little paste, and and it goes very good for making soups, and it goes in ramen, and you can add it to stews and all sorts. It's just a really nice thing to add stuff. But the reason why I started messing around with it, started using it as well, was entirely due to just actually around about Christmas. I saw something show up on my Facebook news feed saying how you can actually make use of miso and soy sauce with roasted beef to help really elevate and add an extra beefiness to the flavor. And it's like, and that works well with like beef itself, and also stock and stuff. It will really accentuate the flavor and actually give you like this incredibly beefy flavor, like more than you'd otherwise normally get. So I was like, oh, I want to try that out at some point. And then I tried it with soy sauce a few times. Just like, yeah, that definitely works. Now I need to try it with miso. And eventually I ended up finding out that, there's little gluten-free packets of miso that you can get, and you get 5 of them for like £2. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good because you just add that one sachet to a stew, and it's going to just massively boost the savoriness of the dish. Also mix that with soy sauce, and it's like, yeah, this is good stuff. So I've been messing around with that, and also with soy sauce, stuff like that. So I've been effectively making my own. I'm tempted to call it ramen, but I've been making my own soy sauce and miso beef broth noodle dishes. So I've been doing that. It's been very fun, very, very fun. I've also been trying out kimchi. So fun thing, Alex, we were actually talking when was it around about Christmas and that. We were saying about how he was like, oh, I love miso, and I was like, I've never actually tried it, but I didn't let him know that because I was like, I've not actually tried it before, but I wanted to, and well, yeah, it was very much case like, yeah, I want to try it. I haven't had the chance to yet. Let's give it a try. And I remember seeing stuff online saying that actually you should be eating a lot more fermented produce because, it's good for your, the bacteria in your gut. It's good for your health. It's like eating yogurts, kimchi, other fermented foods and all that. It's good to eat, especially if you find stuff that you like. It's good to eat them. Entirely because, yeah, it's good for you. So I started, I was like, around Christmas, I'm going to get some, so then we can all, like me and the rest of the family, we can all try some, I was going to get that for Christmas. We never ended up doing that, and then eventually I saw some in Tesco, funny enough. Went in there, so, they've got some, it's gluten-free, which naturally, if you make it properly, it is. So yeah, if you find any with wheat in, it's probably low quality, I wouldn't get it. Ideally, because it's fermented, you shouldn't have that in there, and that's going to wheat flour. I don't know what that stuff will do if it ferments and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I can't get it anyway. If you can, who knows? Maybe it's fine. I wouldn't. Well, see, I can't eat stout, and that's the wrong one. I can't eat sourdough and stuff like that, so I have to go with those stuff. So I thought, I'll try kimchi. People talk about it loads, and Alex even saying about how much he loves it and stuff like that. So initially I tried it, and I was like, it's all right. But then the more I've been eating it, the more I've been liking it. I think it was at I think it needed a mix, if I'm being honest. I feel like it needed a mix before I tried it. Yeah, that's the PSA for this stream. Eat more fermented foods. They're good for you. Be good to your gut bacteria and your gut ecosystem, keep it healthy, keep it good. But yeah, I've been having kimchi not regularly. This has been like the first week of having it, so I've not seen any massive changes or anything, but it's been nice. I have actually been really enjoying it, especially when I make all these noodle broths and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, plate it all up, stick some kimchi on there, and it's like, yeah, it actually is really nice. It works really well. In fact, we had some leftover stew today, so I did some noodles with it, like beef stew. Again, added a little bit of the miso. Funny enough, didn't need to. It didn't. We had some added one of the sachets into the big pot. I figured, I'll add a little bit more. I'll see if it makes a difference. Turns out it didn't. So it didn't actually make a difference in terms of flavor. Like in terms of like getting that beefiness across. It's like, actually, it wasn't needed. Wasn't needed at all. But now I know. And I consider that valuable information and good to have. I can go with. Yeah, that's good to know. So, okay, so the limit, it already had got as beefy as it could because it did work. It did make it very nice and beefy. Yeah, but it turns out there's a limit. But the part that I find quite interesting, somewhat funny, is how I've been saying that for the last 2 months with my family. And then all of a sudden it comes up on TV, and I ended up watching this health thing. And they were like, Jack, you need to come down and look at this. And I was like, okay, I will. I'll come down and have a look. And I was like, yeah, they're just saying about eating the fermented food and how good it is for you. And it's like, I told you this 2 months ago. Like, sure, you won't listen to me, but you listen to the health guy on TV who says you should. And now we've got extra kimchi. I just find that funny. But yeah, I definitely recommend people give it a go. I like it. It's fermented cabbage in a sort of chili garlic sauce sort of, and it's fermented, and I like it. I quite like it. It's got a nice, now that I've had it properly and mixed it in with stuff and done it a few different ways, it's like, yeah, I like it. Would it be a thing I'm buying regularly? Maybe not. At the same time, I could always just have yogurt with like cereal and stuff like that. Well, cereal I can have. That's a fun thing I used to like to do as well. There's a lot of things that's like, now that I've gone gluten free, I can't have anymore, which is a shame. That's a shame. There's a lot of stuff I'd really like to have, but I can't anymore. And there's a few different things I used to like to do. So one of the things I did, and I actually still do quite a bit just because it's easy to do, because it's Frosties and they're done made with corn, so it's, you know, easy to make, and I can have them. But what I'll do is I'll have that with yogurt and honey, and it's like, oh, that was a favorite treat of mine. I very much enjoy that. I've also now been enjoying Weetabix again, not proper Weetabix, but, you know, gluten-free Weetabix, which, you know, the official ones they don't make, so I have to deal with I don't know what they call them. I forgot what they call them, but they taste the same. But I have them. I usually also have them with like hot milk and honey as well. I'd also have those with sort of like hot chocolate or a mocha or a coffee or something like that. I'd enjoy that quite well. So I've been doing that as well. So like getting sort of like the mocha powder and like chocolate and coffee and stuff like that, adding that to the bowl, adding in a little bit of hot water and like warm milk, you know, to make it more milk based rather than water based, and effectively making a sort of mocha gluten-free porridge. And it's been nice. It's been very, very nice. So again, would recommend that as well. But it's just been nice that I've been able to recreate lots of stuff that I used to not be able to have anymore, and now I can have. Now there's two things next on my list of things to remake. That being KFC and Ritz crackers. I will figure out what makes them taste the way they do. Although to be honest, with KFC, you can actually just buy the pre-made spice mix, so that's always fun. But yeah, this track. I know I've been playing for a while and I've been talking already, but this track in and of itself, I actually got to talk-ish. I was playing with Lazy Echidna on here for a little bit, and I was like, oh wow, this is a really good track. This is entirely 50 blocks. This was the 50 block challenge. This is what my Pastel Wave, say, I was part of the same challenge. Didn't make it to the finals, but this is a very, very good track. It's done really, really well in the way that it loops back onto itself to really, really smartly make use of the 50 block limit, and at the same time still make it feel like a much longer level. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a really, really good track, and hence why I wanted to play it again. I think I played it on stream already, but yeah, I wanted to play it again because yeah, I played with quite a few different people and chatted with a few different people on here. Not any of the big ones, but you know, some smaller people, talking with them. It's been fun, especially when they like do YouTube stuff, and I'm like, hey, I'm happy to lend advice. For a while, my YouTube channel was bigger than I'll Plague. I can cement that for a while. Not now, but it was. You know, back when I'll Plague was making videos, and I was like, hey, I'm streaming on technically a bigger channel. And everyone's like, oh, Owl's joined us. Well, I was like, hello, excuse me. Do you not know who I am? And it's like, of course you don't. That's funny. But yes, what was I saying? Yeah, just actually that actually brings me on another thing I wrote down, and that's one of the things I quite like the idea of doing is trying to give people some advice. advice for YouTube, because I see people making the same. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. On my own channel, obviously, I use that for quality checking when a video goes live on AnR. Plus, then technically I'm not breaking any terms of service. It's not the own channel, it's my own personal channel. And I'm using it. And I watch other stuff as well. And occasionally AnR will be put into my recommended feed for next. But because of that, and also because the channel is also, you know, that channel naturally is subscribed to AnR and also my own channel. But because of that, it means that YouTube's like, hey, do you want to see small channels? Do you want to look at small channels? It's like, yes, I do, actually. Let's, you know, show them some, give me some soldiers, show them to me, you know. But the problem is, I actually see a lot of people making the same mistakes again and again and again. So I do have advice. And I think this is going to be, this might end up being a regular thing I actually talk about a little bit more, is giving people some advice and, you know, actually trying to help people out. And if I think this is also a good way for me to actually mention things to Alex as well. Because then it's like, oh no, I'm putting it out there because this is advice I would give to anyone who asked. So the advice I'm going to give for this one is, and I wrote it down, why are you doing what you do? Now, this can be interpreted as a very, very, very deep sort of question. It's like, well, why are you on YouTube? What makes you special? That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is there are certain things you're doing in the video, and I guarantee you're doing in all the videos. I only have to look at one to know that you're doing it a lot, because you do it. And I can tell that there was no hesitation in you doing it. Therefore, I know that you keep doing it. And it's like, on the one hand, good, you have confidence. That's a really good thing. It's really good to have self-confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to. But the other thing I'm seeing is it's like, you're doing this, but why are you doing this? And a good example I've got of this is, so I see people, I think that's a shortcut there actually. For example, so one of the things I saw is, I'm not going to name the channels, I'm not going to name channels or anything, but I saw a channel who was doing, they were recording their matches in Halo Infinite, because again, I've been on a Halo Infinite kick recently. So also I'm going to get a lot of that content coming through. And it was very much a case that what I saw was they were doing, okay, so I'm playing Super Fiesta. This is a game mode where it's randomized weapons and all that stuff. It's a very fun game mode. It's 4v4, random weapons every time you respawn. And yeah, the idea is just get kills. But you never know what weapons you're going to get. It can be completely random. You could have some of the most powerful weapons in the game, or you can have the worst. And it's completely random. You never know what you're going to get. And that's great and all. But you've labeled the series. And you've put it as episode... Well, the one I saw was episode 87. No other title. It was Halo Infinite, Super Fiesta, hashtag 87. So my immediate thing is, where it comes back to the whole thing of why are you doing what you do, is quite simply there. Why are you numbering them? Do I need to watch 86 to get an idea of what's going on in 87? No. The other thing is that why are you just calling it that? Why aren't you labeling it something from something interesting that happened? Did you pull off an amazing play? And if you didn't in the entire episode, then why are you uploading it? You know, uploading it for the sake of it isn't good. And it also actually ties back into I forgot her name. This is actually spoilers for something I mentioned earlier when I was saying about the VTuber that I think needs a lot more. She deserves a lot more attention than she currently gets. I think she was called like Ugu Bear or something like that. Again, I'll probably put a link in the description after the stream is done. I'll put a link to her in the description because she's very, very good. Definitely check her out. It's very, very fun videos. Love watching her stuff. And she has a very spicy short where she mentions about how just because you're showing up every day and you're making videos doesn't necessarily mean you deserve views. That's not how this works. You have to be entertaining, you know. And it's actually definitely a move I'm trying to. I can make that. That's a sort of move I want to make with streams as well. And I think I want to talk about with Alex about a little bit ish. Not anything bad, just, you know, a thing which I think is like, we could do this and it would help us out quite a bit. It'd be a fun thing we can do. But that's the thing. I'm not going to go into details about that. Instead, it's the whole thing of like, okay, so I've watched your video and it's just you playing the match. No commentary. No, nothing. And it's completely unedited, and I'm just watching you playing a match. Here's the thing, the game is free. I could do that myself and just play the game. What value are you adding here? And the answer is you're not really adding any. Unless if you're just uploading every match for the sake of it, thinking, I'll just do this because, you know, I've seen who and whoever do it, and you know, I don't want to talk or do anything like that. It's like, no, you need to have something on there. You need to do something. Another example of this is I saw someone title a video, again, Halo Infinite video. But this isn't just Halo Infinite. This is, again, I've been on a Halo Infinite binge thing recently. So it's showing me a lot of this. And again, smaller channels. So whoever's doing that, I'm seeing a lot of it. But it's like, yeah, they were showing off the new map. So Halo Infinite recently got a new update, and they're showing off the new map on this. The thing is, it took them to about halfway into the video to actually show off the map. But the thing is, that's what was in the title. Up until then, they were doing no voiceover, no camera, no nothing. And they were showing, for the first half of the video, they were just showing off the new armor core. And they didn't have anything unlocked for it, nothing. It was like the update had just come out. And it's like, anyone could do that by just clicking on the game. You've not done anything original there. But then later on, when they go into the match, they do actually show their face, which is good. They show their face, they show a webcam, and he like smiles and waves at the camera, and then he gets on with the match. But the problem is, he doesn't react to anything in the match, and you don't hear him at all. He doesn't even mouth anything. He's just blankly staring at the screen. And again, it's the whole thing of like, you're not really adding anything there. Come on, you know. Come on. I mean, it sucks to be harsh. It really does. But you got to understand, if you're not giving people something, they will go somewhere else for it. I mean, an example I can give is Owlplague. Owlplague, what he does with maps, what he does, he gets notorious, really good players of Zeepkist on stream. They play maps and they critique them as they go. You know, they talk about the maps. They say, oh, this was good, this is bad, we don't like this. And they have also the map creator even playing the game as well. So they can be like, hey, we're going to give you direct feedback. This is what we like, this is what we don't like, here's what you can improve on. And it's like, yes, all that stuff is so good. And it's like, yeah, that shortcut I do there to get extra speed, that's the thing I learned from watching them. And also the fact that they said it's like that turn at the end is icy. But it's like, yeah, that's stuff I learned. And they talk about it. Yeah, they don't have, Owlplague doesn't have the best microphone. But then again, if I remember rightly, I don't think his channel's huge or anything like that. So it's like, for me, I'm an audio engineer. I can justify, you know, a microphone at £300. That's how much my microphone costs, by the way. In case anyone's thinking like, ooh, what microphone has he got? It costs £300, by the way. You know, it's not a cheap microphone by any means. But again, if you're just getting started, you don't need this microphone. I have this microphone because, you know, with this, I can do voiceover work. I can do a whole bunch of stuff. You know, it's not just this for me. I use this for other stuff as well. But it's like, you need to inject yourself into it. You need to have that confidence. You need to inject yourself into it. But at the same time, you also need to know when is something worth doing? When is a video worth making? And when is it just like, oh, well, anyone could do this? I'm not adding anything. That's the main thing you have to really take into consideration with it. Because again, just because you're showing up and you're uploading every single day doesn't mean people are going to watch you. We have plenty of shorts and videos that have come out and they don't do well. And the thing we have to do is learn from it. Learn from it, because it's like, hey, it's not what the audience wants. So let's reevaluate. It's even the case of like C-Dog VA was recently on the stream also. I'd say recently. I recently saw he was talking about how, yeah, people don't really want multi-part series anymore. The idea of like, oh, I'm playing Minecraft episode 137. And it's like, yeah, no one's doing that anymore. No one's interested. There's no point doing that. Hence why we've broken things down into series. It's 10 episodes a series. And, you know, we're testing that out. We're testing the waters with that. And even then, it's all heavily edited, and you know, it's so then it's like, yeah, we've recorded this over. I mean, the next one we're recording, we're still actually recording. We've had one session on it. That session was like a good 4 hours to make the progress we've made, and even then was like, it's late. We need to take a break. We're going to do it another day. So it's like, yeah, we're not going. That's not, you know, that's not 8 videos. Like, nowhere near, because we understand that we're going to cut stuff out. So there's big chunks that me and Alex are just, we're not talking, we're just getting on with whatever we're doing, because it's like, yeah, we know in editing I'm cutting this out. So it's like, yes, the thing is, the other thing to understand is that, yeah, if what you're doing feels easy and like, oh, I'm doing it with no effort, that's bad. It's really, really bad. You want to do stuff that's uniquely you. That's what you really want to be doing. It's even to the point of, I've even considered and kind of in talks with Alex about similar to what Epos Rocks does, where he has his channel where he like gives people advice on streaming and like all these new technologies and stuff around streaming and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind doing stuff like that, because there's a lot of stuff that I can show people how to do that would massively help what they do. For example, my processing chain that both me and Alex use for our voice is one that I custom made for myself that uses entirely free software and plugins. You could have any microphone, plug it into our setup, and you're going to get really good results because of that's how I designed it. The whole idea of this was that, yeah, it's custom tailored. Now, I mean, there are some settings in there that are custom tailored to us, but at the same time, you just adjust those settings to yourself, and you've got the same audio quality we do for free. It doesn't cost you a thing. We'll work with any audio interface, any microphone, USB microphone. It'll massively elevate that. And it's like, yeah, I feel like that's a video where we should talk about, because it's like, yeah, we do something that really, really helps and makes us kind of stand out in that, you know, we're a small channel, but I mean, we've had people on stream come in and say about how they really like, it's like, oh wow, this is like really high quality. And when one of our videos actually like goes out of our subscriber base and reaches out to a lot of people, we get a lot of people commenting saying like, wow, this is like a really high professional channel. How have I not heard about this? It's like, well, you've got to interact with us. You know, to a certain extent, a big part of it is that we also need to try and put ourselves out there a little bit. The best way we can do that is, you know, we do variety stuff. To a certain extent, we do have to hop on trends. And that's kind of one of the things I was trying to show Alex as well, which is why one of the reasons also I brought back my channel is to be like, yeah, we should be doing some stuff on Lethal Company. But unfortunately, the trend for that has gone now. You know, it's dying off. And it's like, unless you're going to do some really interesting stuff with it, which I do have planned for that, for my own stuff, it's like, yeah. And the next time to do it is when there's going to be the next update. And I don't know when the next update is going to be. And we don't know exactly for how long people's attention is going to stay on this game. I mean, look at Zeepkist. Zeepkist videos were huge, and loads of people were starting to do it with like Khan and all that, and Dapper and that. I haven't seen them do a Zeepkist video in absolutely ages, and that's a shame, because I really like this game. It's a really good game. I found it because of them, and that's why I'm streaming it. Now, I know we could never do a video. Oh, I think the tracking bugged out a second there. I know we could never, with the formats that we have on AnR right now, we couldn't do a video on it. I could very easily do videos on it. Again, I could see if that would work. You know, could have a spotlight looking at some of the most loved tracks by certain people, and, you know, dissecting what works, what doesn't. There's lots of, it depends on the route you want to take. Because of what I do, in that I'm a PhD researcher, a lot of what I do is dissecting and analysis of various different things. So dissecting something in the realm of arts, which video games definitely are art, is something that I could very easily do. So I have that in my wheelhouse of avenues I can take. Oh, hands up, forgot about that. A very interesting start to this level, and then you have to spin. And again, this start of this made this really memorable for me. It's like, yeah, you do that first person, and you don't really know where you are, but you're going down. You've got speed now. Oh, we're going up this way, and it's down and round. It's like, yeah, this is memorable, because it just throws you into it. It's like, yeah, I could do a massive deep dive onto why this is memorable. The problem is, Alex doesn't have this game. The main thing for Alex is that he really knows a lot of Pokemon, hence why we have Pokemon on the channel. And I have also actually suggested to him about, I feel like on stream, it'd be really interesting for him to do a Nuzlocke. I feel like that'd be really, really good repeatable content for him, of him doing a Nuzlocke and, you know, that level of stuff, because he really knows his stuff with Pokemon, like really, really knows his stuff. And the problem is, to a certain extent, especially when we're doing tier lists and that, he knows so much trivia about each gen, and he knows so much about each gen, that it's like, the problem is, on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, go off, but on the other hand, it's like, try and keep it contained to a few, because otherwise I might as well not edit the video, because you've got so much stuff in there, and it's a shame to cut it out. But it's like, he needs an outlet for his Pokemon knowledge. Because he knows loads about it. And again, I make a good surrogate for that, because I don't know much about Pokemon. I know when I used to play it, and that's about it. It's actually one of those things where it'd actually be quite interesting for Alex to talk about Pokemon with my nephew. I feel like that would be a very, very long conversation. And who knows, maybe Alex might get a little bit schooled from it. Maybe there's some things he doesn't know about the later stuff. I feel like that'd be actually really interesting. That'd actually be really fun. Because I do talk to him about it, but the problem is my knowledge is the first four generations. Everything after that, I haven't a clue. So when he's talking about the latest gen stuff, and, you know, he's saying about how, I really like this steel poison Pokemon, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, do you know which one it is? And it's like, I haven't a clue. It's like, you don't understand. When I was playing, steel was new. Steel had just been introduced, and then I haven't a clue after that. Which I find, I mean, it's good that he knows things like that, but yeah. But yeah. It's like, in a similar situation, I'm looking forward to if we ever end up managing to do Halo on AnR. Because again, in a very much a similar way, Alex doesn't know anything about Halo. I do. So I can tell him stuff. I mean, technically we already have. We had a video on the multiplayer beta for Halo Infinite. Which, again, that was mainly just... I didn't feel the need to try and explain everything about Halo in the single video. The idea is it was more a montage than show off, like, hey, it's looking good, it's fun, let's go, sort of thing. you know, and even then, to even say, I will say, it is very, very fun. So if you're looking for a call to be like, hey, maybe check out the game, I'd say it now. Everything in there is very, very, very fun. Good thing. No good. Actually, no, I will. I don't think I've actually shown what happens if you don't do anything. I'll show you what happens there in a second. Yeah, so spiders. And then because you've not hit any checkpoints, you get yeeted. Yeah, you get killed by spiders, basically. Come on, let's see if we can go for a better time. Already off to a bad start. The thing is, ideally, the best way you can try and like save time on this is to not turn. The less you turn, the more speed you keep. Because technically friction doesn't actually act on the vehicle while you're just moving in a straight line. So the least amount of adjustments you can make, the faster you'll go. Because you can't never steer. I'm not going to make that. Yeah. You definitely still have to try. But, you know, it's like ideally if I can get it, so I just do that fine. Land, arms down, and then I'm good. Turn only when needed. Keep as much speed as possible. And if you do speed, if you do turn, keep it concise and smooth. You know, all that good stuff. Because again, as I was saying with Alex, when it comes to even our Minecraft series, the way that I end up understanding games is by breaking them. Understanding how the mechanics work and all that. There we go. See? Nice and smooth. And I don't have to turn that, so I'm not going to. Better time, see? I know what I mean. Sometimes apparently the tracking weirded out. Weird in the fact that I'm just going to take a drink. It's odd in the fact that it's not meant to be sending the tracking data of, it's only meant to be tracking my head, and from that it positions the bones and stuff based on that. And again, I could actually have it exaggerated a little more. I might end up doing that, tweaking settings and that, but it's not actually technically tracking the chest. But nonetheless, if the tracking wigs and goes weird with the chest, then it also does it with the Vtube model. But no, there are a lot of things I still want to try out. There's a lot of things I want to try out with when... Oh, excuse me. In terms of our VTuber models. So I already mentioned that we're using RyLive for tracking the face. RyLive also does hand tracking and all that, but it can be a bit odd sometimes. It can not do as it's meant to. So there's actually a good thing you can do in that you can use your webcam for hand tracking as well, using something called Media Pipeline. And that works really, really well. That works really, really well. Problem is, I had a few issues when trying to use both at the same time, which is a thing I need to figure out. That's why I'm not using it right now. But, you know, we'll see how things go. This track. This is another one of the 50 block tracks. Believe it or not, this entire thing, 50 blocks for everything, including all the mountains in the background. The whole thing is only 50 blocks. And this is where using like mods and stuff for the game to expand things really comes in handy. Ooh, I'm not making it for some reason. make it that time either. What's going on? No, I think this was actually one of the ones that ended up getting quite a lot of praise and stuff for how well and how much was able to be done with so few blocks. Only 50 blocks. I mean, it was a challenge. It was a 50 block challenge. So yeah, I also like this track quite a lot. I went the wrong way. There we go. See, I can do that consistently now. And down. Like so. Here we go. Round. See, that's what that's meant to show you. Personally, I feel like that was a little bit off-putting, but you know. The problem is that it's showing you a sign that seems way more aggressive than it actually is. Hey, sub-minute. That's the thing for this contest, that all levels had to be completed, like with the slowest times being, you know, sub 1 minute. After all, as I was saying, I did make a track for this contest. Pastel Wave. Still, even to this day, very happy with how that track turned out. So I tried to do something a little bit different and have a little bit of a gimmick that did end up using a lot, eating into the 50. Oh, and the arm's gone off. That's what I mean by sometimes. That's why I have the arms disabled on the model right now, because sometimes the arm tracking in this just goes a little bit weird. So again, figuring things out. The idea would be that I could use the webcam pointed down more towards my arms to do the arm tracking a little bit better. But again, once I've got things properly set up, then this will work a lot better. Unfortunately, that does mean, Alex, if we are doing this with the VTuber stuff, which I guess we are, because you know we already are. Yeah, you're gonna need a place to mount that phone. You don't have a choice, it's part of the channel now. But no, the good thing is that we can use the multitude of different sensors to like all set things up. And even then, I feel like that would be some good content we could do, like showing people like, okay, we're gonna work on getting the tracking really good for us. And then we're gonna show you how you can get the tracking really good for you as well. So I feel like that's a good thing we could work on as well. And even then, I've even had like other interesting ideas of things we could do with the channel that are VTuber related, because I have ideas. I have lots of ideas of where the direction the channel could take. And let's face it, VTubers aren't going away anytime soon. I mean, Nijisanji might, but you know, VTubers themselves are not. And, you know, even to this day, even now, we're still wondering where on earth is Selene. Because it is weird that, you know, she has these issues on Christmas Day, and then we've not heard from her since. It's like, and then to hear nothing from Nijisanji either. It's like, come on. Even just an update of saying, we understand that there's, you know, people are concerned. Do not worry. She had an accident and she's doing fine. She's recuperating, and she's recuperating and all that. At home, she's just having time off, just so she can heal properly, and she will be back as soon as she's ready. You know, just that. You only have to tweet out that, and everyone's fine. You know, something like that will put so many people at ease, and they're not. I do sometimes wonder how like these corporate heads actually think, because it's like there's so many things that, you know, sure, we'll save you some money in the short term, but you're gonna lose so many people doing it, and they just do it. It's like, are you dumb? Do you not want long-term money? Is that not a thing you consider even thinking about? Like long-term money, you know, guaranteed, repeatable income. Is that not a thing you actually want, you know? And I thought, considering you're a company, that's the thing you'd want, but you know, your actions are saying otherwise. Which, by the way, yes, I'm fully understanding that I probably will never do a collaboration with Ninja Sandry. But to be fair, all the people I know and like are leaving anyway. So, or have left. Well, I've left, technically. I don't think anyone else has been announced for graduation. I don't think. I don't know. I'm going to go check on Twitter now, and I'm going to be completely wrong. I know that's going to happen. And again, it's Twitter. Twitter Belon. You took one of the most recognizable brands in the world and altered to stroke your own ego. Which I guess, considering you're the owner, is fully one of the things you can do. But no one's calling it X. Instead, all it makes us think about is your exes. Too mean, is that too mean? Maybe, but to be fair, the guy's a billionaire, so I doubt he's crying that hard. Just one of those streams today, apparently. Yeah, I'm calling out new YouTubers. I'm calling out billionaires. I'm calling out $1 billion companies. You know, it's one of those days. Everything will burn. I'll see to it myself. Hypothetically, metaphorically, rather. Not actually. Also, I need to drink. There we go. Okay, so here's the other track. Here's my other track. So, you may remember in the previous stream, I did a track called Hilltop Trial. And everyone hated it because it was long and difficult. And there weren't any, like, checkpoints. You didn't know how you were doing. Well, as you can see now, there are 6 checkpoints. And it says part 1. So I've literally cut it in half. So it's half the track length. And the checkpoints now to give you a good idea of like how you're doing. And if you've got the mods that give you the split times and all that, you know, you can figure out how fast you should be going at points. Which, by the way, at that turn, about 150. And it means that you can nicely under 150. That's what I would recommend there. That you have to set up better than I did. Again, I'm not the best at coming up with the lines for this. But yes, this is actually built. This is and also I changed the time of day so you could easily see that like it's a different track. But yeah, this is very much I spent a long time on this track. I spent 3 days on the full version of the track. Technically, the rest of the track is still there. You can see it. It's like, yeah, the rest of the track is still there, boosters and everything. You just can't access it right now. My recommendation is about 130. And even then, I just messed it up. 130 is like a good speed to take that out. We're going around. But yeah, this is actually based on the last day of my holiday to the Lake District. We ended up going on a bike ride. Me and my dad, we ended up going. So I decided to go on a bike ride. We've been seeing about them. It's like, actually, we want to go for a bike ride. Go see some like the trails and stuff in the area. Because me and my dad would go bike riding quite often. We used to. Obviously, things change. It becomes a little more difficult to do so. But actually, funny enough, we've got bikes now, so we can do it again because we did this. And this was the trial. This is the trial we took there were several different trials, and we took this one, which was technically the purple/green trial, which it's not a hard one, but you know, it still took us a while to do it. And of course, this is half of it because I tried to make it somewhat accurate. I brought up the map and stuff. Now this jump isn't it, but I wanted to add a jump because I could see this, like, oh, we can do a thing there. So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. That can be a jump. That could be a feature, a new thing added, a deliberate shortcut you can take. And that's how you get the best times. Yeah, it's always good. You gotta have stuff like that so you can get the best times. It's still a 1.5 minute track, but that's better than the 3-minute track. And yes, there is a part 2, but I'm not showing it in this stream. Next Zeepkist stream. The idea is that I'll build another track, and then it'll be 2 tracks in that, and a bunch of other stuff as well. And hopefully I'll try and time it when Ronan isn't streaming so people can join. No, that I blame them. Ronan is a much bigger streamer, YouTuber than us. So it's like, honestly, if someone did join, that would be the thing that would confuse me. It's like, you do know he's live, right? You could be on a much bigger channel. You know, but hey. Oh, okay, that's much slower. So yeah, the slower you go, the easier you're going to be able to make those turns. The idea is you want as minimal airtime as possible because you really want to conserve. Words escape me today. To be fair, I only have the one drink and I'm trying to make it less, so my throat is getting very dry. You want to conserve speed as much as possible, because apart from that first hill climb, there are no boosters. And apart from like here at the end, there are no boosters. Oh, straight off. Well, no, there are some other things I want to test out as well. I've been kind of wanting to test out to see. I mean, here's the problem. Alex can't do this yet. He would have to do some upgrades to his computer. Which is a shame. Because he's only had these computer in his current form for about a year. But I want to experiment with seeing like how taxing trying to stream in 1440p would be. I want to see. Because again, we got to have this information. Because if nothing else, it's an easy way for us to get the nicer codec. Or the better codec, the one that will like have the streams look better. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm currently using X264, which does look very, very nice anyway. But, you know, still. You know, we put a lot of effort into trying like fine-tune our settings so that everything looks the best it can be. And then YouTube just uses the bad encoder on this. So it's like, if we can force it to use the good encoder, we can. It's like at one point I tried to try and brute force it through bitrate alone. Turns out that doesn't work. It's actually video height. That's what does it. It's got to be... Don't know what the exact height is. Ooh, that's a lot of speed. Yeah, again, as I said, ideally, minimal airtime. Because each landing and each bump like that will reduce your speed. Again, especially this turn, take it smooth and gradual, conserve as much speed as possible. Ideally, you want to definitely be getting up at least minimum of 60. So then, ideally, you can get to here with at least a minimum of about 40. And then you can jump here, brake on there, brake when you land, and let go. And now you can just cruise across like so. Oh, and you can grind like that, apparently. That's not how you get a good time. That's really not how you get a good time, like, at all. Hey, we're learning. We're trying. Seeing how things go. There we go. I died. Yeah, I am noticing that actually the VTuber, the model doesn't move as much as I kind of want it to. It's a shame, because I'm moving a lot. And the model's kind of not. Like, I want it to move more. So, again, adjustments we can make. I'm quite happy with the face tracking right now. I think I will turn off the audio sync thing. I'll keep it on for now, but I'll turn it off once I've got things properly set up. Once I've got a new monitor and stuff like that. That's probably, it's not going to be like towards the end of the year or something like that I managed to do something like that. But, you know, hey, I have plans. Things will improve. Things will change. That's nice. That means there's not too many levels left. Yep, not too many levels left. Near the end of the stream. And this is a favorite, man. I love this track. Because I like the fact that it's technically the same thing again, but opposite, in that you have to do all the same controls, all the same inputs, but in the opposite direction. Also being that, you know, that's a good way to save yourself. It's usually a good way to save yourself. It wasn't that time. But yeah, basically what I try to do is the one that I'm worst at, which is the left side, or the red side rather, I do that one first. Then it means when I get that one done, I can do the blue side much easier, because the blue side is easier for me to do. It just feels more natural. The red side is the hard one. We're going to sling up here, across like that, and across like that. There's a few boosters, hidden of course. And we're stuck to the ceiling, and we go down. And the idea is now we do the blue side. You watch, I've said that I'm better at this side, I'm going to do awful. Usually how this stuff goes. On top here, bank across. To a certain extent, especially with Zeepkist, because you want them to go fast. The one thing you don't want to do is fight against where the car wants to go too much. Obviously, the idea is you want to obviously be in control, but also at a certain extent, you know, the car's wanting to go a certain way. Ideally, the fastest way you can get to go somewhere is by not forcing it too hard. At least not really. I like this song. It's also interesting, like, how the YouTube music stuff works, actually. See, that didn't work quite as well. I feel like I lost a lot of speed doing it that way. Whereas going up here and then down, it gives me plenty of time to line up for here. Get lined up for a checkpoint. Same here. Do it nice and gradually, and we're gone. Nice and speedy. Very high though. And then I'll show you this way so you can see what I mean. On this side, it's like, yeah, you want to go in here, go low there, it'll clean you up there, and then, oh no, clipped it. It's like, yeah, gravity in this case is your friend because you don't have an engine. So you want to maximize. You want to maximize and use as much as you can. And I didn't turn enough. Oh well. Oh well. It happens. It happens. Oh, still not enough. Still not enough. But yeah, and in regards to all the VTuber stuff, eventually the idea would be that, I don't know, maybe we would do like 3D, not 3D, the 2D models and all that. But again, we'll have to see. It's one of those things like we have to see if Alex is interested in pursuing this, if he likes the thing, if he does it on his channel, on his own, on his streams for a bit, see if he's comfortable with the whole idea of it all. And after that, it's like, oh, maybe we can do it with 2D models then. See, that's better. Lines you up perfectly for it. Down, up, round, all in one nice big swing. Ideally, that would just be a straight shot, but I had to correct at the last minute. Oh, no, I was looking at the split. That's no good. It'll be good when people can see the arms and stuff, but then you can actually see what I'm doing. Stuff like when I'm scratching my head or take a drink or whatever. Again, things we're working on. Turns out you don't need a leap motion for hand tracking and all that. It just works better if you do. Works a lot better, actually. It's a little bit every time. 118 is going to be my time on this track if I'm not careful. Yeah, that was so good. And that's not such a good end to that, but yeah, that's really not good either. That's gonna be a bad split. Yeah. Okay, let's try. Let's go. But if I can't get it this time, I can't get it. GG. Unless I do a really fast time now, I'm not finishing. I mean, hey, I'll try. Yeah, I think with speed like that, I'm not gonna... Probably not gonna get it, but hey, I can try. Yeah. If I do that, definitely not. Definitely not. But hey, happens. Just so you can see it again, let's just go straight to the ending so you can see it. Yeah. Not quite, not quite. Yeah. Thought as much, but oh well. Oh well, oh well. Happens, happens. Oh, this track. So I put this in, this is the last track. I put this in because I'm not very good at it. But this will be a painful ending. Just like that. It's a very lovely looking map though. Super aesthetic. It's one of those things where it's like, you see other people doing it and you're like, how? It's one of those kinds of maps. But I don't know how to make that jump. Last track, and I may not actually get a finish on it because it's a tough one. Well, definitely not by doing that. That's for sure. Oh, well, I made that jump. That's a start. Oh, maybe. See, I can never do that because you're meant to land and just keep going, but I never have the speed. Like, that's the point that always trips me up. Now, see, other people do it and they just go. I'm always just thinking, like, tell me your secrets. Just how? I know the best way to try and get speed is always be in contact with the ground, but it's just still how? No, definitely not like that. Again, maybe it's just I need to stop putting my arms in the air. Not that. It's not how you do that. Ooh. Okay, I feel like I've got way better speed here. A little bit of arms up there. Not happy with that. Not happy with that. I mean, I've still got plenty of time, but it doesn't change that I'm not happy. Oh! Oh, I've never been this far before. I have no idea what's coming up next. Oh, great. Okay. I made it though. I made it though. That's really good. I'm really happy. Doing way better for speed. Well, that's just not fun. I always wonder if it's better if I just let it flip there. I'll try that this time. Not like that. Not like that. A little bit of arms up there. What if I just let it flip? No, definitely not. Definitely, that's way worse. Not quite. Got a feeling this is going to be my last attempt at a full go, if I can do it. Wrong way. Problem is, I don't know how long this track is, so I've never finished it before. I don't know what the time is. Oh no, I don't feel like I've got good speed this time. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. Again, get the feeling I wouldn't break this. Oh, I did. Okay. I just really don't have good speed now. Oh, I was going to say, don't tell me you go up. No. Oh. This is the worst possible ending to a stream. This, yeah, well, I tried. I tried. It doesn't always work out, but I tried. Oh well. Can't always win. But yes, guys, there's backgrounds beginning, so that means it is the end of the stream. I hope you've enjoyed this little look at us now being a VTuber and all that. I hope you have enjoyed it. Shame no one joined, but to be perfectly honest, with considering the other people who were also streaming at the same time, I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. Oh yeah, now I've just seen on the thing, he's now taunting people to try and stop him from winning. So hey, if you see this and he's still streaming, go stop him. He's at 2,991 wins. He just needs 9 more and he gets 3,000 total wins. So hey, go over and stop him. He's actually taunting you to. He's asking you to. So yeah, definitely go do that. But nonetheless, I've been Jack and I'll see you next time. Just so people are also actually aware, the next stream I'm actually going to be on will be on Valentine's Day. So yes, you will see me that day. I don't have any plans, so unless I suddenly get plans, then, well, if I get plans, obviously the stream will be delayed. But personally, I don't see that happening, so we'll see. But until next time, I've been Jack, and I'll see you then. So subscribe if you like what you've seen, give us a like, that always helps, and get ready because tomorrow new video coming out. Unless I'll see you then. So goodbye.